Tonight we're having a glass of milk.
We're going to revisit milk.
Yeah. Hey, tonight we're having leftovers.
Hey, welcome to Snackdown. I'm Justin, and this is...
Andy. It's cool, Andy. But I'm laid back, but I'm also intense. Kind of like some jock jam thing. Doot, doot, doot. I don't know. Dude, look, can we restart that? That was really bad.
I don't know.
Okay, I guess we're sticking with it.
No, we don't have to.
No. Let's do it.
So, Andy's basically been singing since we turned on the video. So, something good happened today, Andy? Or did you eat some sugar or something?
Actually, quite the opposite. I almost fell asleep before we started this.
Well, when was the last time you sleep? Because was it like 72 hours ago or whatever?
No,
no. Crossed the limit of insanity?
No. I'm not there.
You're not there yet.
No, things are good. Actually, pretty good night of sleep last night.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
that's a good reason to be excited.
Okay.
There's another reason to get excited.
I've got a couple reasons.
Today's episode.
Oh, yeah, okay. Go on.
Is that what you were thinking?
No.
What was the other reasons?
The SpaceX launches in like 45 minutes.
Oh, that's cool.
Maybe we could watch it. Have like a little party.
Okay. Maybe. Or it'll get delayed like every other launch.
Yeah. They're like a grasshopper jumped on the lunch pad. The lunch pad.
It's got to be postponed by a month. Every launch I've tried to watch has been postponed.
Yeah, they're like Kraft Food Services weren't here today, so gonna have to delay.
Can you imagine putting that much money into something? If there was any reason that it would go wrong, you would have to postpone.
And I wonder how much cash is like tossed right out the window when they have to delay.
Yeah.
Like, think about all the people that are just working that day on a Saturday. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
they might as well just pile money under the burners and turn them on.
Just crank them up. Yeah.
Okay. The other reason to get excited is we're gonna do Nutella today.
Yeah.
So if you're from France, you'll get really excited because France eats more Nutella than anyone else.
Wow. Why?
I don't know, but they eat 100,000 tons a year.
Oh my gosh. Where is it from originally?
Italy. It's from Italy.
Oh. Were we going to get into that, or did I ruin that?
We'll get into it, but have you eaten Nutella before?
I have eaten Nutella. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Are you a Nutella frequenter?
We didn't have any in the house, but we've had some in the house. I feel like we kind of like have like a little bit of Nutella in the house. Then we have some like fluff, like marshmallow fluff in the house. It kind of has like the same frequency. It's usually on like opposite. Doesn't always happen at the same time. I'm usually the buyer of it. Yeah,
I don't know if I ever had Nutella. If I did, it was when I was a kid. So, I don't know. This is another new experience for me. Just like Spam, I think it's something else my mom didn't buy.
It's like in that section of the peanut butter and jelly aisle where like there's like peanut butter, there's jelly, and then there's a bunch of like kind of weird fusion-y things. Like, it's like peanut butter and jelly, like in the same thing. And
there's also like cookie spread.
Yeah.
You seen that?
Yep.
Yeah. My mom usually tried to get us to eat pretty healthy. Like she would make a dessert or something like brownies. Mm-hmm. But other than that, there wasn't like snacking sugary food.
Yeah.
So Nutella wasn't something that she would buy. Otherwise, I'm sure me and my brother would just spread it on everything.
Probably. Like a couple of sugar-deprived kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'd just be spreading it on the bar of soap and washing in it.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
Can you imagine washing yourself in Nutella? You would be looking like you're smearing yourself with human waste.
Well, they do mud baths. I mean, back to the bath thing from last episode, but mud baths are the thing. So Nutella bath.
Yeah, but mud baths are like, it has that like painted on look. If you like smear Nutella all over your body, it's gonna look foul.
So I haven't opened this yet, so I'm gonna open it up and look at the texture, and then I may agree with you.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It looks like chocolate pudding, but it looks a little bit thicker.
Yeah,
That's what it looks like to me.
I can. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say thicker than chocolate pudding. Spoon it out and see what you think. It's just a different consistency.
I'm gonna try some just straight. I'm just gonna taste some straight Nutella.
Oh, yeah, it's been a bit for me. So, there it is. Tastes like hydrogenated vegetable oil.
Honestly, it tastes like a mix of chocolate and peanut butter.
Yeah, although it's not chocolate though.
There is some cocoa in it though, right?
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, I forgot.
So, what's interesting about Nutella and the fact that we did Spam 2 weeks ago is that it was also birthed around the same time, World War II.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know.
Yeah, and the reason for it was chocolate was so rare and very expensive after World War II that people just couldn't, it was just too expensive. Normal people couldn't afford chocolate. So this guy, Pietro Ferrero,
Ooh, your Italian is
the Ferrero company, they make like those the Ferrero
Cars.
chocolates.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No,
I
you
get
know that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he made it, and technically it was his grandfather's recipe, but they kind of made it out of, it's like a hazelnut spread, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But when he first created it in it was like 1946 or something like that, it was a solid block, and it was called, what was it called? Pasta Gianduja, something like that.
I'm glad they changed it to Nutella.
And you would slice it. You would slice a piece of it off and eat it that way.
It probably kept better, I would think.
Yeah. And then later it became Super Crema, which was like a more spreadable version. Mm-hmm. And then not until like 1960 something did it become Nutella. So when you look up the origins of Nutella, it'll say it's from the 60s, but its true origin is like 1946. It just slowly became Nutella over the years. They kept changing it.
Huh. That's cool.
But yeah, that's how it started. It was like a brick.
Yeah.
I would assume it would be like hard chocolate, like a brick of hard chocolate.
Yeah.
And then you would like slice like a piece of it off and put it on something. But they said like spreadable made people like it more, and it would last longer if it was spreadable because you wouldn't use as much.
It seems like it seems like they were just trying to replicate chocolate or just kind of do something about chocolate and have something as like a hard thing. But
yeah, but what's interesting is Nutella and the previous versions were never marketed as a chocolate substitute or an alternative. Like, hey, you don't have money or it's too expensive? Try this.
It was never marketed as a chocolate alternative.
Yeah.
Choc
They've always sold it as, here is something that's made with nuts and it's better.
Wow. That's nuts, dude.
I'm going to dip an apple in this. So the things that we're dipping in now, we have Granny Smith apples, which seems like anytime we dip something on this show, it's always a Granny Smith. Mm-hmm. Is there a reason Granny Smiths are so dippable?
They're diverse. Yeah, they're not diverse in themselves, but I think you can like use them for a lot of different things.
I wonder if it's because they're the tartest apple. They're at the top of the tart spectrum.
They are pretty tart.
Yeah.
But they're good.
Because it went well with the cheese, so we had them with fondue.
Mm-hmm.
So that means it goes with savory and sweet if it's going to go with Nutella.
Can I make a confession? I don't have Granny Smith apple. I totally whiffed, man. However, I did get some other dippable things.
That's fine.
I'm going to try
What did you get?
Okay, so I've got raspberries, blackberries, those like the peanut butter filled pretzels.
Oh, wow.
And then I got some couple gummy bears.
Of course you got gummy bears.
Yeah, well,
it's funny because
I just had those around, so obviously.
That's cool. I wonder how that is with the raspberry and the blackberries.
I know.
It was actually really good with the Granny Smith. So last time we had this with cheese, like I said, we didn't like it as much with the fondue. Mm-hmm. It didn't clash, but we liked other things better. I would say it goes better with sweet than it does the saltiness of the cheese because it's excellent with the Nutella, actually.
So the gummy bears, no. The peanut butter injected, what is it? Peanut butter pretzels?
Filled?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there we go. Like I said, I almost fell asleep a couple minutes ago. The peanut butter filled pretzels, absolutely yes. Like that savory, and the peanut butter in there is like actually kind of sweet too.
Yeah, so this does have, it's got cocoa in it. So it's not like it's free of chocolate. Mm-hmm. It's just a minimal amount, and it's more with sugar and hazelnut and palm oil. Mm-hmm. So it's probably cheaper to eat than just if you're just trying to eat straight cocoa.
Palm oil is like dirt cheap and super unhealthy for you.
Palm oil is very unhealthy, and there are concerns about this is like causing cancer. And I guess it's because of palm oil during the process is heated to a certain degree. And I don't know why. It said once palm oil hits 200 degrees or something like that, there's some risk of something. It's not like completely proven. It's just there's lots of speculation. So there was a big uproar, and I think it was banned in Italy for a while. I don't think it still is, but apparently there were other things they could use instead of palm oil, like coconut oil or like almond oil. Mm-hmm. But the people at Ferrero were like, no. They said it won't taste the same, and like the quality won't be the same. so they're like, it has to be palm oil.
So then they didn't sell it in Italy, in their home country, for a while?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was more like, I don't think it was officially banned. I think a lot of supermarkets and stores banned it from their store. Like they just decided not to sell it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What do you think about Nutella? I mean, you haven't had it in a while. Or ever, maybe.
I think it's actually fantastic.
I do too. It's different.
Yeah, this is really good. So I'm not a big chocolate person. You hand me like just a milk chocolate Hershey's bar. Mm-hmm. Ugh, I don't like that at all. This is really nice mix of chocolate and nut that I think is delicious. Because my favorite, if I'm eating chocolate, I love chocolate covered nuts of different sorts. That's my favorite way to eat chocolate. And so this is kind of a good mix of that flavor, but it's more on the nutty side. And I also don't get hazelnut a lot. It's kind of a good... I mean, the only way I consume hazelnut now is like in coffee, some sort.
Really?
Yeah. I don't really eat a lot of hazelnut in any other fashion.
It's funny because we've got like a hazelnut like simple syrup, and it doesn't really taste like this to me at all.
Yeah.
I don't know
What are your
why.
thoughts? What are your thoughts? Do you like it?
I like Nutella. Honestly, so I've had Nutella in some sandwiches before, like in a peanut butter and Nutella sandwich, and I honestly think I'd rather prefer like a peanut butter and honey sandwich, just because I think honey's like a little lighter. Like Nutella, it's pretty heavy, you know?
It's
like,
thick.
If you're having like peanut butter and jelly or peanut butter and honey, or if you're having like chunky peanut butter, or if you lay the peanut butter on thick, I like a lot of peanut butter. This would just be like you would need like a full 2 quarts of milk to just kind of like wash that sandwich down.
Yeah, well, this mixed with peanut butter is just too much thickness, I think. I think you switched for the wrong thing. I think you need a Nutella and jelly sandwich.
Ugh.
Because you've taken 2 thick substances and put them together. You
Too
know what I
sweet.
mean?
That's too sweet, man.
I don't know.
You really think that a Nutella and jelly sandwich would work?
Maybe a Nutella chutney sandwich.
Ugh.
I don't know. But yeah, I can get what you're saying. That peanut butter and the Nutella together is just kind of too thick.
Yeah. Just and really like sticky almost.
Yeah.
Sticky on like the roof of your mouth.
I just tried it on a banana, like a little slice of banana.
Uh-huh.
And it was good. It was more on the sweet side. I like the tart of the apple better. But the consistency of like the banana and the Nutella was just a little smushy in my mouth because the banana's already smushy. I don't know. But I'm going to try it on a pretzel now. And this pretzel, I got it. It's called dipping sticks.
Are they wide or are they...
They're just like a stick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's really good with the pretzels.
Yeah, they look like... those like pretzel sticks look like you could like dip them in hot chocolate. Not like hot cocoa, but like a warmed chocolate.
Yeah.
And then like have them dry off or cool down.
This actually is more on the chocolatey side than I would have thought.
Yes.
It does taste more chocolate than I thought. From all my like reading of Nutella and how it's made mostly with like hazelnut and oil, and especially because it was made out of a shortage of cocoa. Although further removed from World War II, they're probably putting more cocoa in it now. I bet at the original recipe probably wasn't as much cocoa. But yeah, it is more chocolate than I would have thought. And putting it on a pretzel reminds me of, you ever have those, I think they're usually during Christmas time, those pretzels that half of it is like hardened chocolate on it?
Yeah, that's
Those
what I was
big,
just talking
long-
about.
Really? Yeah. Did you call it by a name?
No,
Oh.
I didn't have a name for it. I was even stumbling on the description.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah.
So, out of the thing, did you try it with the raspberries, blackberries?
Yeah, it's fine. They're okay.
The best thing that I've tried, so I just tried the apple, banana, and the pretzels. Granny Smith apple.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for you, is really good with the apple.
It's yeah, this is pretty darn good. You know what I hate? I hate the allure of 2-for-1 produce. Like like produce on sale. You're just like, shelf life on this sucks. What's wrong with it? You know what I mean? I like look at it like it's broken goods or damaged goods.
That's what always happened to me with avocados.
Uh-huh.
And then they would all be ripe on the same day, and they're only ripe for like a day. So I'm like, do I have to eat all these avocados today? And I'm not going to eat that many avocados.
You're like, when life gives you guac,
Exactly.
you take a walk.
Take a walk on the guac side. I don't know. But yeah, just like so back to like Nutella, it's like sold in 160 countries. It's like all over the world. So just like Spam, it kind of, I think just because of the time it was birthed out of, kind of just spread, and it's huge now.
What was how was the birthing process for it?
It was very thick and nutty. But yeah, so when I was reading an article about how much Nutella was sold, I think it was on its like 50th anniversary of it being Nutella, which was like in the mid-teens. But in 2013, worldwide, there was 365 million kilos consumed.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And each jar, like, how big of a jar is that?
It's 13 ounces.
Discord.
So 3 of these is in 1 kilo. So basically 365 million times 3. So over 1 billion cans of Nutella were sold.
My goodness. Of like the standard size.
Yeah, and like in that 1 year.
What does yours say on it? Does it say like great with fruit and veggies?
It says pancakes love Nutella.
Ooh, mine says bagels love Nutella.
Now, look on the back, Andy.
I don't have
Where
it
does
in
it...
front of me.
Oh. So there's a bunch of places throughout the world that make Nutella.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is in Canada. The North American producer of Nutella is in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
But my thing of Nutella was made in Mexico, which is strange. I thought it would have maybe come from Canada because it's closer to New York.
Do you think people can tell the difference?
I don't know. Maybe they make it different.
Do you think Nutella heads could tell the difference? You're like, oh, mine's a made in Mexico. You know, like with like Fender, like guitars.
Yeah. You offer someone Nutella and they look at the back first. No thanks. It's a Mexico one. I only eat French and Canadian Nutella.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back with something a little bit more extravagant than dippings. And we'll talk more about Nutella.
I can't wait.
All right. We'll be right back.
All right. See you in a bit.
Bye. And we are back with a sandwich.
Have you tried it yet?
No, I haven't.
Good.
So what we're gonna do is this is a grilled banana and Nutella sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, Andy, is this the summer of sandwiches?
It could be.
It could be.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try this. Did you squish your sandwich?
God, no. Did you?
I tried. It was a little harder with the banana.
Oh.
It's a thicker consistency in there.
Just kidding.
I'm gonna try this thing.
Oh man, how much butter did you use?
So I've been trying to cut down on my dairy, like completely. I'm just doing like some tests.
Mm-hmm.
So I just use a little bit of oil instead of butter. The butter is probably a lot better though.
Yeah. Yeah, the butter is fantastic. And the banana cooked up just like a tiny bit. It's just, this is really good.
This is really good.
This is my best experience I've ever had with Nutella.
So when we were thinking about doing this, I contacted Scott, who, if you all go all the way back to the pizza and wine episode, he's a Canadian listener. Mm-hmm. And I had asked him how he eats Nutella, if he does, and what are popular ways in Canada. And he said he just kind of spreads it on bread and maybe eats it with some bananas. So this is kind of like that. And we were kind of doing a deep dive into like how do people eat Nutella around the world, and the lists were huge.
The lists were also like snarky as hell, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. But they were, a lot of people spread it on bread. I hear it's good on like a crusty baguette, so like better than just sandwich bread. When I was in France, they ate Nutella's huge in France. Obviously, we just talked about how much they eat of Nutella, and it was big on crepes. Which I was like, Andy, should we try crepes? And he's like, no.
Not at a distance, especially.
No. It's hard enough to make a crepe. I think both of us trying to make crepes and line it up to recording time would just be a big mess. But it says in France, they eat it on donuts, on top of gelato. They dip bananas in it, in between two Pizzelle cookies, in an ice cream cone. Pizzelles. You ever have a Pizzelle cookie?
No, what is that?
I don't know. It's those things, they kind of like the anise flavor. They're around Christmas time. Kind of like a licorice anise flavor. They usually put them in a Pizzelle press, and they have like shapes on the cookies.
What's a Pizzelle press?
I don't know. It's a press for making those cookies. I saw it was good in waffles. And
I like how you use the name to like describe the press to describe the cookie that I have no idea.
You've never heard of a Pizzelle?
No.
Yeah.
Are you trying to say Petzel?
Come on.
Pizzelle? Oh, I got you. I see what you're talking about. They look like stroopwafel, kinda. It's like people also searched for stroopwafel, crumb cake, cannoli. Okay, I know. But
these have I think they have the thing that makes them taste a little different than a stroopwafel is the anise flavor. Mm-hmm. So they're kind of like slightly licorice.
Yeah, but it's not over the top.
No, it's not. It's just slight. I like them. It says in France, one of the ways they eat it is in a hamburger or hot dog bun. It's kind of weird.
Eat what?
Nutella.
Oh, they just
mixed with Rice Krispies. That'd be pretty good.
That would be very good.
With tiramisu in creme brulee form.
So that was incredible. That took 5 minutes of effort and was seriously just fantastic. Mm-hmm. You really need to do that with butter.
Yeah, I should try it with butter.
If you have like a dairy problem, and then if I have an egg problem, we're gonna have to shut down Snacktown.
I don't think it is, because I hadn't had any dairy for like 2 weeks, and then I had a little bit of your smoked cheese, and I didn't do anything.
Nice.
I think it's just too much. If I'm eating cheese, then I have butter, and then I'm having milk and cream in my coffee, and then everything I have, I've realized, has milk in it. Mm-hmm. You've got like salad dressings and just drinks, everything's kind of milk-based, so I've just kind of cut that back. And I think if I have just a little bit of it...
Don't go overboard.
It's not going to do anything. And I think it's also a mixture of like too much dairy and too much sodium and too much Just too much.
Too much.
Lots of things. Yeah. So I'm trying to like watch that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But then Snackdown's like, oh, crazy. So I should have had put butter on this.
Do you?
Every week right before Snackdown, I tear my diet in half.
Mm-hmm.
And
you have to. Yeah. We're doing it for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
We are We are martyrs of the snack. Oh, that's kind of a nice little t-shirt / metal band name.
We die for the snacks.
No, martyrs of the snack.
That's the same thing, though.
Yeah. Okay. But I mean, like on that shirt, like.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe not. No, never mind.
Well, that kind of reminds me, talking about martyrs and dying. Do you know anything about the Nutella riots of 2018?
No.
You didn't hear about the Nutella riots?
Are you making this up, or is this real?
No, this is a real thing.
Oh,
so I think it was just in France. But
is just in France all the places in France you've been to?
Yeah.
This is just in France now.
I put my name in front of all the countries that I've been to.
Yeah. That's awesome.
But there was a big price drop in Nutella.
Uh-huh.
It went on sale, or I don't know if it was a combined effort between superstores to just sell more Nutella, but there was a big price drop, and then there was just like, it was like Black Friday, basically. There was just mad rush, people fighting, just the stores were like overloaded with people, and it was just like a giant, like almost like a rioting, looting type of atmosphere just for Nutella.
What kind of day are you having, or week or year are you having, where you have to punch someone in the face over Nutella? I would never punch someone in the face over hazelnut, palm oil, chocolate, or any combination of all those.
But I mean, what price drop would make me? I mean, Nutella's not like hundreds of dollars. Usually when something's like, when you go to a Black Friday deal, it's like $1,000 TV is now $400.
Right.
So then you're like, oh my gosh,
so
that's a huge sale. But Nutella, which is like $3.
If you take like a 3 or 4 euro, there you go. Kind of feeling worldly by saying that.
Nice.
If you take a 3 or 4 euro food and then you drop it by, deep discounts and it's $2.50, it's still only $2.50.
Unless maybe it was like a penny.
Yeah.
What if all the stores were like, this Nutella is expired, let's put it on sale?
Yeah.
Everyone's like, Nutella!
Yeah, and it's like, it's disgusting at that point.
And they just spent all night erasing the expiration dates.
Yeah. Have you, I'm so bad about food and about chips, and like, this is like such a first world problem, where like, I'll buy chips, and I'll kind of forget about them, because Kalen doesn't eat chips, and then I'll like find them a year or two later, and they're expired. Like the chip shelf life is not that high.
We talked about this. You found chips that tasted like dust.
Yeah, and I found another one. I found another bag that tasted like dust, and I thought to myself, I'm like, these are already expired by 6 months. Guarantee they're going to smell like dust. Yeah. I opened them up, and like they smelled like cardboard dust, and I'm like, damn, it's bad that I know that smell.
There's no chips in there anymore. It's just moths.
Yeah, and they just like pop out like it's a magic trick.
Yeah,
I'm like, moths are the new doves.
But I have the opposite problem. Instead of my chips lasting too long, I'll buy several bags of chips, and sometimes I just eat them.
And then it'll last.
I mean, I eat an entire bag in one day, and then the next one's gone. And I was like, I'll buy these for the week. And it's like the weekend is when the last two. There's no way I could keep a bag of chips until it got dusty.
There's no rationing chips for you. You're like a Labrador retriever when it comes to chips.
Yeah.
You're a goldfish when it comes to chips.
Unless someone else bought chips and hid it in my apartment. Like,
but then you'd be asking questions like, whoa, where'd these chips come from? Yeah. Then you probably wouldn't eat them, because if they were like random chips,
No, I would eat random chips.
Would you?
I would.
You would really eat random chips?
What do you mean by random? Like loose chips on the ground?
No.
Or just like a bag that I didn't know where it came from?
You didn't know where they came from.
Yeah, that would be an easy decision. I wouldn't even think about it. I just pop it open and start chewing. But yeah, if I found a few discarded chips under the couch, I wouldn't be eating those.
Right. What if they looked fresh?
Unless I dropped them the previous night. And I was like, there they went. Are you ever like eating a snack at night or something, like popcorn or chips, and you dropped a big piece, like you saw it in your peripheral, and then you're just looking everywhere for it, and it's just gone. It disappears into this like, what is it? The
abyss?
No, what's the Meridian Triangle? Is that what it is? The
Bermuda Bermuda Triangle.
It disappears in the Bermuda Triangle of your couch.
Yeah.
Where all chips go to disappear.
Yeah.
If they ever find Atlantis, it'll be full of crashed chips and potato chips.
And they'd all be soggy because, dang it, it's Atlantis.
Yeah.
I'm thirsty for a cocktail.
Yeah, so we won't tantalize you. We'll just tell you we're going to make a Nutella cocktail, which is going to be interesting. Yeah. And as I was just reading the recipe, it requires a blender, a food processor or a blender, which I didn't realize.
Oh, I didn't realize that either.
I'm going to try to blend it. It's because, so when you're mixing Nutella, back when we had that molasses drink, as soon as the molasses got cold, it got super lumpy and you couldn't mix it up. So this is to avoid that. So you're going to mix it with all the ingredients and then blend it into like a creamy mix. Huh. And then you're going to put it with the ice and cool it. Because it says if you put the Nutella with everything and the ice, it just gets a hard clumpy form and it doesn't mix in. Which is what we had dealt with the molasses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know.
Wow. This sandwich was so good.
Yeah. It was really
I can just imagine this put on a waffle. Like a waffle with banana and Nutella on top.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be good.
Real quick, we made French toast this morning, and instead of egg, we put half and half, or I'm sorry, heavy cream, and just kind of like sopped it with that, and it was fantastic. It didn't taste 100% like French toast. It tasted like tres leches, like in French toast.
Tres leches is so good.
Yeah, it was really, really good. So super proud, very happy to have that in the list.
All right, so we're gonna make a cocktail. We'll come back and there's a couple more things I have to say about Nutella.
Okay. So, we'll see you in a bit.
All right, bye. Hey guys, if you like what you hear every week and you're looking to support Snackdown, one of the best ways is just telling your friends. You can also send us suggestions on social media. We always like that. Another way people have supported us is by sending us snacks in the mail. The newest way you can support is going to our Patreon page at www.patreon.com/snackdown. And by doing that, you can get early day releases to episodes. Thanks for all your support. Thanks for listening. Back to the episode.
And we're back.
Woo! Cool. Woo-hoo. So let me see your drink. And did you go special with it or did you just pour it in a cup? I just pour it in a cup.
So, ew, yours kind of looks gross, actually.
This is a Nutella martini.
Yeah.
So it's in a martini glass and it's supposed to have a Nutella rim with either crushed Oreos or chocolate sprinkles. So I have a Nutella chocolate sprinkles rim.
It looks interesting. not your finest work.
Why?
I don't know. It just looks like
I think it looks pretty good.
It just looks like poo on the rim. Is it good? Here, let's see. First of all, wow, that vodka.
Yeah, it's very vodka-y.
It's very strong.
So,
holy cow.
The Nutella rim with a martini glass, because it's very wide, it just gives you like a Nutella smile on your face because it's just like hitting the cheeks also.
It's like a Batman or like the Joker quote, like, do you want to see how I got this Nutella?
Yeah.
Do you want to know how I got this Nutella? And you just like show them the glass and everyone's like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Let's put a smile on that face. And he pulls out like a jar of Nutella and starts wiping it.
Yeah.
So when I was reading so this is called a Nutella martini, but when I was reading the ingredients, this reminds me more of a White Russian because it's just vodka, half and half, and Nutella.
Yeah.
Whereas a White Russian, you would just be using like coffee liqueur. And it kind of reminds me of it a little bit flavor-wise.
Yeah. There should be more of like a cream liqueur. I don't know. The vodka just doesn't jive well with this, in my opinion.
It's not horrible. I think the amount of vodka used is a little off.
Well, I mean, it's kind of the standard amount for a cocktail. It's 2 ounces, right? So
my question to you would be, how different would it taste without the Nutella and like creme de cacao? You think it would taste pretty similar?
So I've had that before, and it's not that bad, honestly.
Honestly, I think it's pretty good with the rim, though. That's a little bit more than Nutella. Well, that's a little bit more of the Nutella flavor.
So I've made before creme de cacao, vodka, and half and half, or heavy cream. So I think I've had really what you're thinking of. And I remember it tasted a little better than this.
This is like,
Yeah.
Also, when I think martini, I think gin. And I know there are vodka martinis.
I mean, most of like the mixed, or like the kind of, like an appletini obviously does not have gin in it. I think martini is just like this lob of a name. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because there's nothing about this that makes it a martini.
Right.
To me.
Right.
It has vodka in it. That's it.
Yeah, just call it a cocktail. Just call it a cocktail.
It's served in a martini glass maybe.
Yeah,
maybe that's why. But
that's it.
It's okay. I mean, it's got a little bit of the Nutella flavor.
It just tastes cheaply made, I guess. What kind of vodka did you use?
I used some Russian Standard, actually.
Oh, no.
It was cold already, and I kind of wanted my other one's like in the cupboard, so it would have been like hot vodka because it's kind of hot in my apartment, obviously. And so I was like, I'm just gonna use some of this. I have a ton of it.
Do you ever?
I usually just drink it straight.
The Russian Standard.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah! Good for you, man. You ever have it with
I think
pickles?
Lev will kind of cringe when he hears I mixed the Russian Standard with some Nutella.
I think it depends on if he likes Nutella. So
yeah, I think you really have to do the rim though.
Really?
I think because it adds a little bit more of the Nutella flavor, and the chocolate sprinkles is pretty good too. Yeah,
this is fine.
Yeah, it's not great.
We tried it, right?
Like I said, I think cream de cacao is just a better use of a similar flavor.
It's good too. It's very good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this just doesn't blend well. I feel like creme de cacao is already balanced to be in a cocktail. Nutella is just Nutella, right?
Yeah, I mean, you had to use like a blend. Did you use a blender?
I used a whisk. Yeah, I think whisk does a good job.
Yeah, whisk is fine.
What'd you do?
I put it in my blender.
You're like, I just used a fork.
Yeah, I beat it like an egg.
Yeah, and the egg was like, no.
Stop beating me.
Yeah, this is the worst. This is a horrible outcome.
So on one of the breaks, everyone, we watched the SpaceX spaceship launch into space.
The first manned commercial space launch. It was pretty awesome. Cool. Yeah,
I wonder what snacks you pack for a spaceship.
I was thinking about. I mean, it kind of went back to the ice cream. You think they're just chowing down on ice cream for a full 12 months that they're going to be up there or whatever?
Do you think the atmosphere of space affects food differently? Probably does.
In what sense?
So astronauts, when they would go to space, right? They would eat.
Yes, that's true. What's
They eat a lot of freeze-dried food.
I mean, they eat a lot of packaged food.
Is that because they don't have a lot of space? Because they're not spending years and years up there.
Okay, so the average length of stay for the ISS missions are about 6 months.
Yeah, so I mean, you wouldn't need food that lasts years and years.
No, I don't.
And when we think freeze-dried, we think the shelf life is really long.
So, I mean, the biggest thing, I mean, volume and weight are huge factors, though.
Yeah,
right?
That's true. So it's got to be a space weight issue.
Yeah. Space as in volume or
space
like the last frontier?
Yeah, like the amount of space it takes up in your ship.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you want to hear something?
Yeah.
This is from Gizmodo, so take this with a massive grain of salt. If you are sending astronauts into deep space or towards Mars, food is going to be pretty important. Not only has it got to keep them alive, but it's also got to keep them sane. Eating porridge 3 times a day for a year is enough to drive anyone potty. Potty? Is that a British thing? A recent $1 million year-long NASA study that shoved 6 people into a domed simulation of Mars. So 6 people all being shoved into this isolated slope of a Hawaiian mountain. Their aim was to discover what foods and foodstuffs were the best for long-term space travel.
So they were just basically in there to test what would make them go crazy?
Yeah.
Like, here, eat this porridge for 3 weeks and see how you feel after.
Mm-hmm.
And they do that, and they're like, this is horrible. That's an interesting project. How long were they in there for?
A year.
A year, just stuck inside with 6 people?
Yeah. So
Man.
The fake
That's like a reality TV show.
Yeah, and on a Hawaiian mountain, like you've got like this beautiful landscape.
But they're stuck inside, right? They're stuck in like a little cube. I can just see someone like chalk outlining their space. You've crossed my space.
Yeah, yeah. I need space, and everyone starts laughing.
Yeah.
But they're talking
pun again.
Yeah. They're like, we should have a luau, and then everyone's like, look, you're breaking the fourth wall. Like, we're in space, dude. They go, okay, freeze-dried food tasted pretty good, but it lacked fiber, causing, issues for the eaters. And it says Spam was also a favorite, so toss back to Spam, because it lasted forever and kept its taste, and the couscous was gobbled up almost immediately. So food got boring quickly, but they said the thing that came out on top was Nutella.
Really?
They became craving it and rationing it out to last the year.
I can just see 6 people rationing a jar of Nutella, and like someone's like, if it was a reality TV show, there's the night camera, like the green and dark, and someone's sneaking over the Nutella can. Instead of like who slept with who, it's more who ate more Nutella than the other person, or who's sneaking it at night.
And we're back to Big Brother Mars.
Yeah. So dialing from space back to Italy.
Oh no, we're going through the atmosphere.
Burning up.
We don't even have spacesuits on.
The Nutella's melting.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
It was supposed to last the year.
A lot of shopkeepers and people like in the marketplaces and grocery stores would keep Nutella. And if you were a kid, as long as you brought a slice of bread in, they would give you a smear of Nutella on your bread for free.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Do you think
they obviously don't do that
still
anymore.
Doing that? Yeah, no, probably not.
The health concerns raised over like a used Nutella knife.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. This house is making so much noise right now.
That's fine.
What have you been up to this weekend? Just straight
Not
chilling?
much.
Yeah.
A wasp was in my apartment the other day, though.
Yeah. Like a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant?
Yeah. No, it's like a big... I was watching TV and then this big wasp was like flying around. I'm like, how did a wasp get in here? Of all the bees... You're a bug guy, right? A wasp is not a bee, correct?
That's
a wasp
correct.
is a wasp?
A wasp is in the same order as bees, so...
I hate wasps.
Why?
They're just angry stingers. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, they're pretty nasty. So,
Yeah.
So bees and ants are in the same order. Hymenoptera.
But most bees, like honeybees, bumblebees, you know, they just kind of go out about their business.
Mm-hmm.
But wasps, like, have it out against you.
You're like, most bees just mind their own...
Beeswax.
Thanks. Are you going to
But yeah,
the
I was
long
like, I
pause?
got to get rid of this wasp.
Yeah. They're,
Are you a wasp killer? Do you try to kill wasps?
I try not to kill stinging insects. Not because I'm like, oh, I got to save the, whatever. But I don't like not killing them and then having them fly around and just be
Exactly.
matter.
And
So,
wasps are very hard to kill.
yeah.
So I was trying to decide, like, I looked and apparently I don't have a fly swatter.
Uh-huh.
But that wouldn't have worked very well anyways
Uh-huh.
against a wasp. And then it would have really, like, pissed it off.
Yeah.
So then I had a shoe. I had a big shoe. And then, of course, it flew, like, it was just hanging around the window. So that would have been, I smashed through the window with my shoe.
Yeah, just,
Aha, wasp!
you're like, why did I try to hit it with my tap dancing shoe?
Yeah. And then I kill that wasp, and then all the rest of the wasps come in through the open, broken window. So.
But
I finally trapped it in a window.
Yes, that's what I
And
just
it
did
got
too.
it got
Yeah.
super angry, and you could just see it stinging the screen over and over and over again.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They're nasty, dude.
I'm picking the sprinkled Nutella off the rim of this glass.
Disgusting.
So I just recently rewatched all 10 seasons of Curb Your Enthusiasm again.
Uh-huh.
It's like 2 times this year I've watched that.
Oh my gosh. Really?
Yeah.
You have access to like so many shows and you're just watching Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Pretty much, yeah. And I've realized there's certain things that Larry David does in that show that I find hilarious. And I realize I find them hilarious because I do those same things.
You're like,
And I realized there's a real good chance, or a bad chance, of me slowly turning into that character over the next like 20 or 30 years.
Really becoming
if I'm
Larry
not
David
careful,
himself.
yeah.
yeah. Well, I'll
Which
pray
I
for
think
you.
would be hilarious, but no one else would. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, yeah. But what was your favorite? I know your favorite. These are like a no-brainer.
So the drink was meh. It was okay. It was like a novelty drink, to say you put Nutella in something. It reminds me of back on the Halloween episode when we did that candy corn cocktail.
Yeah.
It was just kind of gross, but it was like more an aesthetic, candy corn vodka thing. That was just, it didn't work. This kind of reminds me of that. This was better than that. That was gross. This was decent, but there's just so many other cocktails that would have been better. The sandwich was amazing.
Sandwich was fantastic. Yeah.
It was fantastic. A little too sweet for me to eat constantly because I'm not a sweet tooth person. I think it was really good, but I wouldn't eat that all the time. Honestly, I think the best combo is one that you didn't have was the Granny Smith apple and Nutella.
I bet Nutella and plantain would be pretty good.
Oh yeah, I bet that would be good because
Right.
plantain's just a little less sweet than banana. And when we
be a
did the
good
banana
balance.
episode, the plantains were fantastic. I would like to try it on a crepe someday. Have you ever had a crepe?
I think so. I don't know.
Really
They're
good.
not that memorable. I'd rather
Really?
go for a waffle at that point. Yeah.
I think
Is
they're
that
pretty
terrible?
good.
Yeah.
It's like a thin burrito.
Sure. They sure are. But yeah, I would much rather go for a waffle or a pancake.
When I was in Justin, France, and I was at one of the crepe vendors.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't read any of the words on the menu, obviously because it was all in French. But some words are similar, like banana and like raspberry and stuff like that. You can pick out. And I think I would rather prefer a savory crepe. I've never actually had a savory crepe. I usually have sweet crepes. But because I couldn't read anything on the menu, I was just like, I'm going to go with like the banana chocolate one because I could read like banana and cocoa was pretty much similar.
Yeah.
But I would like to try savory crepe sometime.
Well,
well, what was your favorite?
easily the sandwich, the banana and
that's
Nutella sandwich was fantastic.
Cool.
Yeah, the sandwich was just, I don't know, it was just well balanced, right?
Yep.
I don't think my bananas weren't like, they're not overly sweet, just because they're not like super, super ripe. So yeah, it just had a really good flavor to it. And then salted butter is the way to go with that. Because I think it just adds like, salt balance, right? Like, and then just having like a really good piece of bread.
Yeah, I think fantastic. A better piece of bread would have been better.
Yeah.
It suggests it on like a baguette or something like that. I think if you had like a nice fresh loaf of like Italian bread or something that was really fluffy and soft and fresh, that Nutella would be so good with it.
Yeah, we've got.
But yeah, I think I like the Nutella.
You do? Are you gonna buy more in the future?
I think occasionally. I'm not a sweet snacker, like I said, so I think if I have like a sweet tooth, it's something that I could dip the savory snacks I already have into. Mm-hmm. So I think it's it's spreadable, it's usable in lots of different scenarios. So
yeah, it's highly variable,
multifaceted snack.
Mm-hmm. Well, thanks, man. Good choice. I'd say, good pick. And I can't wait to get back in person.
Yes, it's slowly coming up.
But
yeah, so hopefully down the road we'll get back together in person, and then we'll be able to do a little bit more of the things that we want to do that we can't while we're separate. There's a lot of things that keep coming up week to week that are good ideas. It's just too hard to do separate. So someday we'll be back together and we'll be able to do those things.
Hopefully sooner than later.
The best part of it will just be seeing a human being and it being Andy, hanging out in person each week.
Yeah. No, it's I'm glad we're able to do this. So even
now, I just like print a picture of your face and tape it to the chair across from me.
No, you don't.
No, I don't.
Actually, please move your screen so I can see that you're not doing that. Just kidding. You're like, I see you like bolt, like, and then go undo it.
And I have it's just like a puppet of you, like, and it just the arms have like two motions. It's
you can work the arms.
It picks up a snack and then it brings it to its mouth.
Yeah, and it's Nutella, so now you just have to throw it away and just do another one. Yeah.
So I can get rid of my Andy puppet and.
Yeah, please make sure you get rid of it before I get there. You know what I mean? And not just because it would be creepy, it would just kind of be awkward between me and the puppet. You'd make a joke and you'd be like, huh, well, Andy Puppet would have laughed at that.
Yeah, I'm practicing ventriloquism, so when you come back, I can be like, like have the...
I'm like, Justin, this is like an audio format sort of podcast.
And I'm like, well, he laughed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that took a weird turn. Yeah. So, and this is another reason why it'll be nice when we hit the end of the phases and we can be in person again.
For sure.
I'm not building puppets and killing wasps.
In no particular order.
Yeah.
Kind of serial killer type things.
Yeah.
All right, you want to read us out?
Yeah, I'll read us out. Thanks for listening today. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and you can find this episode and others like it on iTunes, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and a bunch of other places. You can go to our website at www.snackdownpod.com, and you can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/snackdown, and you can call us and leave us a message at 315-313-5456. And you can just leave us a message, leave us a funny story, give us a suggestion.
If you're making a puppet too, just tell us about that puppet.
If you've made your friend into a puppet because you haven't seen them in a while, let us know.
Yeah. And if you have any questions for Justin about puppet making, if you haven't done it yet, but you're just curious, you're at that point.
Yeah, if you've pulled out the string and the yarn and the plaid for the shirt.
If you've reached phase 2 in puppet contemplation, then give us a little ringy-ding, and Justin will guide you through the steps.
First, you take the scissors.
Yeah.
And
no, into your other hand. I see those are right-handed scissors, and you're putting them in your left hand. And I know you're right-handed, but the stabilization really needs to happen with your offhand, so that you can be really strong with precision cutting, because this is going to be your friend for a while.
Okay. Good night, everyone.
All right. Thanks for listening. Go eat some Nutella and put some on the rim of your glass.
Okay. All right. Thanks for listening, guys. See ya.
Bye-bye.
And even
Yeah.
some women have some old manish qualities.
That's true. We all have a little old man inside of us.
It's disgusting. Delete that.